Greetings. One of the biggest fears that people have about living a nomadic lifestyle or being an expat is, how am I going to make friends? And I mean, that's a concern, right? Because you're leaving everything you know, you're leaving all your friends, you're leaving your family. But I can tell you that you will make friends. It's like we as humans came here to connect, and you will connect with people. And I know some of you who are introverts are like, but what about me? Look, I'm an introvert. For sure, I'm an introvert. But I've made so many friendships, had so many connections. And here are some ideas. This is what I did. So before I started my journey, as I was in a research stage, I joined a lot of different Facebook groups, expat Facebook groups. So they have it for like every city you probably would want to go to. So you can join those groups before you go and just get information about how it looks on the ground. One of the things I did is that I started in Mexico. Even though I was going to go to Colombia first, when the pandemic happened, I wasn't able to go to Colombia. Mexico's borders stayed open, so I ended up going to Mexico, and that was probably the best place for me to start, to be honest. So I joined these groups, got the information, and so before I would go to these cities, or when I would get to these different cities, I would post in those groups, hey, I'm Nadia, talk about myself, my interests. You might want to hang out. Essentially, will you be my friend? But there's a lot of people living this lifestyle, and there's a lot of people that want and need to connect with others. So that's a good way to meet people there. The other thing is, get a hobby. Do what you're passionate about in these cities. So I'm a dancer, and I do partner dances, Latin dancing, salsa, bachata, kizomba, including kizomba, just lumped under Latin, even though it's African. So I would do partner dances. So everywhere I would go, again, I would find, before I would go, I would either find a Facebook group or some information about the Latin socials in that city. And so everywhere I went, I had a place to go. I didn't mind going by myself because I knew what was going to happen there. And so even if you don't speak the language of where you're going, then you speak the language of the dance. So that was a great way to meet people. And in fact, everywhere I went, that's really how I met locals, is through going to those socials. And, funnily enough, I told you I'm an introvert, but since I left the States, I've done the most socializing I've ever done. Like ever, I think. And I think it's because, you have to, you got to talk to people. And then also as an introvert, I've always had like, somebody is going to talk to me, right? Some extrovert is going to adopt me and talk to me. So that's a great way to meet people through those groups and with an interest. All right, so again, if you're thinking about leaving the country, do it. Do it afraid. See you out in the world.